have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. That is, of course, part of Martin Luther King's very famous speech. How was he able to inspire so many people to action? He invited them into a story that they could see themselves in. And this video is all about story. It's all about you finding your story, telling that story through your business, through the products and services you offer. It's really important these days to be visible in that sense, for people to know you, trust you, understand you. With this whole new phenomenon of social media and Facebook and Twitter and everyone knowing more about the people that they're dealing with, it's so important that we work with that visibility and that our story is a part of that. If you tell your story in the right way, you will inspire those ideal clients and those people that will love your products and services, that will value the value that you deliver. All of this is possible when you know how to tell your story. A dear friend of mine, Jackie Chandler, who's a corporate story coach, she says this: humans live in story like fish live in water. And it's so true. Story is deep within us. It's hardwired inside of us. We remember things much more easily when they're told as stories and jokes and these things that have a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a narrative. We understand it. We remember it better. I'm sure you've been bored to death many times with PowerPoint presentations, with people that have no idea how to bring something to life. The really good speakers and presenters and marketers, they know how to tell a good story. These days with reality shows and YouTube and social media, who you are and what your story is just as important as the products and services that you deliver. Here's a couple of stories about story, just to give you an example of how powerful story is. There's an example of some people that were trapped in a cave with limited air supply, and one person had the clock. And this person knew that they did not have very long to live if they all breathed normally. And this person was very smart in actually not quite telling the truth, telling a story about how much time there was left, extending the time. And in fact, was so effective with that actually everyone got rescued. And that's because they were able to live way beyond the time that they thought they had, because this particular person was able to help them believe that they had more time, and something must have shifted in their bodies, that they were actually able to not panic and not take in more air, and so extend that time. There's another story of a man who got trapped in a freezer van and was found the next day dead. Sad story. Why did he die? You may think it was because the freezer van was on and he froze to death, and actually he did die of hypothermia. But the weird thing was that the freezer van was not turned on. It actually wasn't cold in there. But the man believed so strongly that he was going to die of freezing to death that he did, because he bought into that story. There's lots of examples of the power of story in politics. I'm not even going to go there. But we know that stories have so much power. They can be very, very compelling. And we need to use it in the right way. People make decisions based on emotion, and then they will justify it with fact. Our story is a very big piece in people connecting with us, whether they're clients, whether they're joint venture partners, whether they're alliances, whether they're members of our team. Story is a very big piece of this. You see, we are hardwired for story. Think about it. The oral traditions for centuries, for thousands of years, Information, culture, wisdom was passed down through story. We know this. This is a part of us as human beings. And as business owners, we need to work with that in our businesses and tell the story that our business is about. It's called the why of your business. Why is this business in business? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why is that important? We know the stories of people like Steve Jobs and Anita Roddick, and these people who have made their life part of the story, and that's the reason why so many of us have got connected with their products, because we believe in what they stand for. Do people know what you stand for? I'm going to show you a couple of quick diagrams to illustrate how your story plays into your business. So let's look at this first one. You see these 3 circles. One, the outer circle is what is your product? The next circle in is what does it do? And the circle at the center, what does it mean? And a meaning piece is very, very important. Let me give you an example. Okay, let's take the example of a cell phone. What is it? Well, it's metal, it's plastic, it's a phone. What does it do? It enables me to call people, to connect with people when I'm moving around, when I'm traveling, when I'm not at home. What does that mean? It could actually save a life, or it could save a job if I'm late. In that sense, the meaning is what speaks to the heart, more than just what it does. What does it mean to me? Can I afford not to have that? So for you, what is your business? What does it do? And most importantly, what does it mean? Now you see these 3 circles. Circle 1, this is you. Circle 2, this is your competition. And circle 3, this is your buyer, your client. Now you see where they all overlap in the middle. Many business owners go right for that center point, and that's where you and your competition have what your buyer is looking for. The interesting part comes right here, where you have what your buyer wants, but your competition doesn't have it. And that's what's unique to you. What is your uniqueness? What is your differentiator? And how do you express that? In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and how that comes into your story and how all of that can help you rock in your presentations, in your marketing, in everything that you're doing, and make your business so much more successful and fulfilling. See you there.